Welcome to this very special World of Tanks video. My name as always is Maxwell and it is Boxing Day. That is if you are one of the people who celebrate Christmas. If not, then it is just the 26th of December. If you are one of the people who celebrate Christmas though, then Merry Christmas to everybody and have a very good New Year coming up and Happy Boxing Day. So I would go ahead and pause the video right now if you haven't done so already and grab yourself a drink, possibly a turkey sandwich if there are any going spare, and then sit back and relax and prepare for a good amount of World of Tanks content. At the time of recording this, I don't know how many clips there are going to be, but I'm hoping to put in as many as possible. So this first one is from the user Borrowcheck. That is Borrowcheck, and he's driving the T29 Tier 7 heavy tank on an assault battle on Erlenberg. Now this video is just really to demonstrate the power of the T29 and what it is capable of doing when it's fully upgraded with that top tier gun. Even on a Tier 9 battle, when Tier 7s are, excluding artillery, the bottom tier of the game, it is still able to achieve some good success. So spots out the enemy's T29, but he's having none of it, so he's trying to get away as quickly as possible, but takes a couple of hits for his trouble, safely getting behind the hill there before taking any more damage. So the T44 has gone out well ahead to do some scouting there, which is fantastic, as I don't think their side does have a dedicated scout tank. But they have decided, I think, to camp around the middle. Probably going to be using that more of an assault and assassination role rather than an advanced scout, which the T44 is filling admirably at the moment. So just going to be advancing up this flank, probably wanting to get into the area just in front of him here to try and get his tank hull down and poke just his head out, because with that front armor on the turret is almost impenetrable, so you're going to have some good success if you can get this tank hull down. The only thing is he's quite far out by himself, and the enemy has some substantial forces here, and they are all higher. Well, not all of them, but my word, there is a lot of enemy here, so this probably isn't going to go too well. Caesar Jackson there, probably going to get some good damage on him. There we go. Driver's been killed though, that is going to hamper the speed and maneuverability of the T29. Nope, uses his first aid kit there to get the driver back into action, as this tank has already been a heavy and very large tank, slow enough as it is. So doing some good work here, keeping his tank hull down. Just going to shoot at the very top there to try and get a penetrating hit. Unfortunately just ricocheted. So he's playing pretty well at the moment, just poking his head out over the top of this rise, keeping his tank pretty much hull down, and picks up his first kill of the match, taking out that Tiger P. So yeah, just poking himself over the hill, keeping himself hull down so that the enemy's got nothing to shoot at but the turret, which, as I said earlier, is almost indestructible. You've really got to use a massive cannon or high explosive shells to be able to lay any damage on that turret. So should be able to take out the IS. There we go. Gets his second kill of the match. Looks like they're facing off against another Tiger and a T34. That T34 can be a bit of a beast if not kept in check. So really he should be falling back now, as they have been utterly destroyed now on this flank. Should be able to get a good hit on him. There we go, good hit on the side armor and able to take out his track while he is retreating. There is the original T29 from earlier, so should be able to get a hit. Oh, managed to take him out as well. So there's 4 kills so far, accounting for 90% of the kills on his side at the moment, and he's only a Tier 7. So should be able to get a good hit on this T34. Ooh, so unlucky, not able to get the final shot on him. He's only got 16 hit points left, and he gets finished off by the T44. Ooh, was he able? No, unfortunately not able to take out the Hummel there. Didn't have quite enough damage to be able to get him. Wonder if he's going to have moved. Yes, he has. Unfortunately, didn't spot that he'd moved until after he pulled the trigger. So wasting a bit of a shot there, but still managed to pick up 4 kills so far in this Tier 9 battle, so doing very well for himself. So coming up, going to try the The MX 1375 is going to try and flank around the side of this 1390. Unfortunately, that 1390 has probably got a full clip, so should be able to take out this 1375 no problem. Unfortunately, he's exposed himself a little bit too much. Ooh, unlucky managing to bounce a shot on the 1390 now, who is going to have to run the heck away, or this IS-8 is going to make sure he has a terrible day. So getting hit by artillery there and losing his track, but managing to pick up the kill on the 1390. So it looks like, yeah, the game's pretty much in the bag now, winning 9-5, and they've got 4 tanks here moving in on the base, and 1 just to bring up the rear there. Who is that? That is a T-34. Spots out the last artillery piece, going to have a shot at him. Got some serious damage on him, which was excellent. And now going to make their way across this bridge and start the base capture, because there's nothing that the enemy can do about it. They have a Super Pershing over there and a couple of tank destroyers. It looks like the tank destroyers are camping in the forest. Got to be careful though, because he only has just under 300 hit points left. The thing about the T29 though is because it has those large tracks there, a lot of the time you'll find that your tracks soak up a lot of the damage that's getting done to you as a 0 damage critical, so just angling the tank in the right way can sometimes lessen the damage that you are about to take. So I'm going to try and get a shot on this Jagdtiger, going to see if he can do anything. Nope, going to switch to the Super Pershing instead, because he's got a much better chance of penetrating the Super Pershing from the side. So that is 6 kills for Boruchek in the T29 in a tier 7 tank in a tier 9 battle. So congratulations to you for having such a fantastic game, and thank you to you guys for watching this first video. Stick around because there's another one coming up right after. Our next clip is from the user Beyond D. That is Beyond D, and he's driving the Panzer III on a standard battle on the south coast, and you may notice he is platooned up with 2 of his clanmates here. So this is going to be a video just demonstrating how to get shit done when you are in a clan platoon. So going to be throwing caution to the wind here straight away and advancing directly up the centre of the map with the speed and manoeuvrability of the Panzer III, and hopefully going to be trying to catch someone with their pants around their ankles and arse blowing in the breeze. So manages to get this M3 Lee as he comes down the hill, damages his tracks, and then gets blown to pieces for being impetuous. A13 trying to achieve the same thing, trying to jump off the hill and trying to probably land on him and get him that way. Unfortunately, spotted him in time, reversed and took him out. So this B1 is going to try and achieve what his 2 friends failed and take out this bastard Panzer III. Unfortunately, he's just dodging backwards and forwards behind the cover of one of his fallen comrades, and his allies are able to mop him up. So spots out T28, who seems pretty oblivious to the situation and what the hell is going on, and leaves himself poking out for far too long. And so does the Mark III. Is that a Mark III or was that a Mark II? Not sure. But T28 not going to cause any damage, and again exposed himself far too much and getting taken out there. BT7, no match. So that's 3 kills so far, and his clanmates are advancing up the left-hand flank and, yeah, advancing up the coast there. So managed to get a good hit on the M3 Stuart and then take him out as well. So that's pretty much the base all sewn up single-handedly by Beyond D. Just going to advance in here and support the guy who came up the right-hand flank in the 38 NA, who is dueling with that Mark III. Spots out the artillery. He's going to try in vain to turn around and get a shot. If he just stuck still, he probably would have been able to pick that up. Unfortunately, decides to reverse and then gets himself killed. So they've got an AFK here, so just going to come in and mop him up. For some reason, decides that he's not AFK anymore after getting shot. Hate people who decide to do that. Possibly a bot there, not sure. So getting another free kill out of that one. But to be honest, even if he wasn't AFK, there's probably not much he could have done. Ooh, not quite getting the M37 here, but his second shot picks him up no problem. So picking up 7 kills by just playing absolute balls out man mode, charging directly up the centre and getting to the bottom of the hill before the enemy even got out of their base and mopping everybody up. So fantastic clip from Beyond D there. Thanks very much for sending that one in.
Move out.
And our next video is from the user Thunderhawk93. That's Thunderhawk93, and he's driving the M103, which is the Tier 9 heavy tank on the American tree. And this is a standard battle on the Siegfried line. It's been a while since I've seen this standard battle on the Siegfried line. It is normally an encounter, so this should be fairly interesting, just making his way into the village. Just going to speed this up because pretty much zero action happens right at the start of a battle. So just going to take up a standard cover position at the start of the village, spots out an enemy 103 and lands a good hit on him with zero return. So just going to move himself back while he reloads. Hopefully his stealth kicks in and then pokes his head back out. That M103 has come back for another go, but again just takes a massive shot in the face for no answer back. Hasn't landed a single shot back yet. So just going to poke himself back out. Ooh, getting hit by somebody there. So going to, yep. Probably aimed for the IS-3 there, but nicely hitting the ST-1 instead. And luckily the angling on the front of his tank and the fact that it's got quite decent frontal armour means that that shot bounced. We're just going to have to play a little bit more careful to keep an eye on that 103 and the ST-1 and IS-3. Just going to have to make sure that he doesn't expose himself to too many enemies. So that's 3 shots he's managed to land on the M103 without reply. Luckily the M103 got a good hit on the KV-3 that was behind our man here and was able to take him out. And the IS-3 side armour too strong. Nerf the IS-3 please. So bounced a shot on the side armour there. Can he get another hit on this M103? Doesn't want to leave himself poking out for too long considering he was reloading. Did manage to get a good penetrating hit there, but took a hit in return. So that's the first shot that this M103 has managed to land back. If I was him, I'd probably just stay hiding behind that wall or maybe relocate to a different position with less than 200 hit points. A shot from almost anyone in the battlefield will finish him off. Just noticing that their scout was able to get in on the enemy base there, but unfortunately being taken out by the Object 704. So just going to advance up here with this IS-3, going to try and lend some support to him. Wondering if this M103 is going to poke his head out ever. But to be honest, playing the smart game there of just hiding behind the wall and hoping that the enemy goes away. No, I'm just kidding. Hoping that he can land a shot on somebody coming back into their base rather than putting his head out trying to duel with this M103. Oh no! He decided to poke his head out and duel with the with Thunderhawk here and got taken out for his trouble. So they were getting a little bit overwhelmed in the centre of the town here, but it looks like they have managed to pin the enemy in and push them back. Got a good hit on the rear of the IS-3 there, who had to go back and defend the base against 2 mediums and a heavy tank who had managed to slip through the net. And that's probably because they had most of their forces located in the centre of the map rather than spreading themselves out. So got a good hit on the side armour of this Jagdtiger. Unfortunately, he's going to reload his gun before the Jagdtiger can get fully around the corner. Deciding to retreat, but taking him out anyway. So this IS-8 is now chasing. Not able to land his first shot, so he's got his gun reloaded now. Hopefully he can get out and turn the tides and start chasing this IS-8 instead. Nope, although spots this ST-1 trying to make a beeline back to the base.
He's gone. Find another target.
Unfortunately, his gun was pointing way up in the air because he was close to the building. Didn't have his right mouse button held down while making manoeuvres, obviously. So it looks like this IS-8 has managed to sneak around the back of the M103, being a speedy little bastard, but using the corpse of the fallen Jagdtiger here, it being an absolute monstrous vehicle, able to hide behind there no problem whatsoever and get some good damage on this IS-8. Ooh, I thought he got the kill there, but it looks like the low, or a low, where was he? Ah, just off to the side there. So it looks like he managed to land a shot at pretty much exactly the same time and got the kill instead. Unfortunately missed the 75 there, but it looks like that is taken care of, and it's just the Object 704 left. And that's the Object 704 destroyed. So a brilliant clip there from Thunderhawk 93 showing the power of the M103 in capable hands. Not a large amount of kills there, but probably a good amount of experience and credits considering the amount of damage and penetrating hits that he managed to land. So thanks very much for sending that clip in to us.
Time to roll out.
And this next video is from the user Zad1333. That's Zad1333, and he's driving the AMX 1375 on a standard battle on Ensk. 1375 being the Tier 7 light tank for the French with that amazing auto-loader gun. Now, I'm not usually a big fan of using a scouting tank on Ensk unless it is a more of an ambush tank like the Chaffee or one of the French tanks, which can be used as an assassin and a counter tank. But driving a pure scout like a spotter or something, I'm not a big fan on this map, considering that it is the smallest map in World of Tanks, being only 600 by 600 meters, and with it having the dense amount of buildings on this left-hand flank, again, not a very big fan. So this is a tier 10 battle, especially, well, it would be a tier 10 battle with the this tank being tier 7. So just going to set himself up down this road here and see if he can achieve some spotting. But unfortunately, there's not really anybody coming up this far left-hand flank. It looks like the enemy has concentrated themselves in that central area, which is where the heavy tanks like to congregate and play peekaboo with each other around the buildings. Looks like their base is being captured already, so there's a couple of heavy tanks falling back there. It looks like they weren't going for a full-on base cap, maybe just going through and trying to get the artillery taken out. So spots out an E50M, going to try and come in and take him out. Managed to get a couple of good hits on his side armor and able to get him without reply. Going to go ahead and reload there. So it looks like the medium tanks have possibly fallen back a little bit, considering those two heavies have come in to cover the artillery, and most of them have now retreated. And has one of them been taken out? No, they've all just decided to retreat rather than go for this base capture. So it looks like that has been dealt with now, so just going to fall back into the battle again. Spots out an E50 who'd come up the train tracks. Wondering if he can get a hit on him before he disappears behind the buildings. Fired off one shot, but unfortunately missing. So it looks like the medium tanks have free, well, the enemy medium tanks have free reign of this central train line area there as they are falling back towards their own base. Spots out an AMX 50B. Gonna see how much damage he can get on him before he's able to fire back. Unfortunately, he's missed his first shot. Managed to get his second shot, but then gets taken out. So his second shot, though, brilliantly managed to take out the engine and the driver, which totally screws up a scout tank, because that's like, that is a double compound fatality basically there. The driver slowing your maneuverability and top speed, and the engine slowing your maneuverability and top speed. Managed to get a good hit on the enemy's artillery there, so it looks like they had concentrated too many forces in that central portion, and all they have done is flanked around behind them. Spots out this Bat Chat here, but is able to lay some good damage on him and fantastically able to take him out before he's able to retreat into cover. So that's 2 kills so far, so doing pretty damn good in a tier 10 battle. He's going to probably fall back to the central area now and try and support his heavy tanks. Spots out that IS-4, but that IS-4 looks like he is trying to play peekaboo with his E50M and not get flanked himself. There's no way he's going to be able to penetrate the front armor of this IS-4 consistently without the IS-4 just turning his attention. So just laying in wait and spotting him out and hoping that he either makes a mistake or decides to change position. He's not going to do any of those, so going to flank around the buildings and try and get a hit on him unsuspectingly from the rear. So it looks like the IS-4 is still holding his position. He's advancing a little bit towards the middle and is able to take out that E50M. So he should have no idea of what is about to happen.
We didn't even scratch them.
Well, unfortunately bounced his shot, but someone else was able to pick up the kill. Side armor of these high-tier Russian tanks being notoriously difficult to penetrate. So spots out an IS-7 and goes ahead and switches to his 6 premium rounds, because it's always a good idea in these scout tanks to possibly carry premium rounds, just so you can do damage to these big boys when you do come up against them, although they cost such a ridiculous amount of credits now that you really won't make a profit cash-wise in the battle. But as you can see, able to consistently damage the IS-7 there with these rounds. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back to standard rounds, and then there's only one enemy left, which is this GW Type E. Just going to speed this up while they fall, while he gets to base. Should be able to get a shot on this Type E. Ooh, unfortunately managing to bounce there, but his second shot luckily landed and was able to take him out. So thanks very much to Zad133 for sending that clip into us.
Let's get this show on the road.
And this next clip is from the user The Brenman. That is The Brenman, and he's driving the Churchill Mark 7 on his standard battle on Wide Park. And the Churchill Mark 7 is the Tier 6 British heavy tank. Big fan of this tank, although it is a fairly large beast and pretty slow to manoeuvre, but it has a very good rate of fire on its gun and a decent penetration and damage. Well, the damage is decent for the speed that it fires. So we're going to be heading down the centre of this map to begin with, either going to be taking a position on the other side of this slope, or going to be trying to defend the subway on the far left hand side. One of their scout tanks was able to get a good look at the enemy and able to see the general numbers of who is heading where. So a pretty good start for this team already. Although they look fairly dispersed, they've got an even amount of people spread pretty evenly around the map, although they do have a decent concentration of heavies and a tank destroyer on the left hand flank, and our man, the Brenman, here coming to support. So spots out this VK, going to get a good hit on him. The good thing about the Churchill Mark 7 is, I think for its tier, people don't expect it to be able to fire as quickly as it does, so sometimes you are able to get 2 hits in when normally you would only be able to get 1. Unfortunately, gun elevation not up to scratch there and not able to get a hit on that M4. So he got away scot-free. Now it looks like that VK has pushed further into their left-hand flank there, but fingers crossed that heavy tank should be able to take him out no problem whatsoever. Spots out a KV-2 here, fingers crossed you can get a couple of hits on him before that monstrous gun is able to take him out. Looks like he's not looking in the right direction, so gets obliterated. Although it looks like, yep, they have their own VK pushing into the enemy's base now. We're going to draw their attention, hopefully, while our man here can lay some good hits on people. It's a good hit on the KV there, forcing him to fall back. And gets another one, and then he's going to try and return fire. Spots out this A13, but to be honest, I'd probably be concentrating fire on that KV-1, as he probably could have taken him out before he got into cover. Nevertheless, able to get some good damage on that A13 before he was able to retreat. So there's the M4 earlier who escaped with his life down to the elevation of this gun. Unfortunately, he's going to take a good hit there, as the gun elevation is more than enough to hit him. Is he going to be able to get another shot before he disappears? Yes, he is, and he's able to take him out. So it looks like their VK has done a fantastic job of corralling the enemy and pushing them back. Gets set on fire there, and looks like he hasn't invested in a fire extinguisher, so that's going to be pretty much 90% of his hit points gone. Spots the enemy's T-150. Looks like he is just sitting in the middle of their base, possibly trying to relocate from one flank to another, but getting taken out for... So just going to move around and try and encircle this M6 and this A13. They've got an ARL pushing in on them. Wow, down to 3 hit points, should be no problem to take him out whatsoever, and the A13 is taken out by artillery. Spots out a Hertzer here. Unfortunately, Hertzer going to be no match whatsoever of Churchill Mark 7, and is able to finish him off, and that's 4 kills. So the enemy's AMX-40, I think, is pretty much just going to be making a run for it now, as there isn't much he can do. So if I was him, I would probably be trying to just hide somewhere and try and avoid that repair bill. Unfortunately, not able to do that, and gets taken out. So that's 4 kills for our man, the Brenman, with a good showing of what a well-coordinated team can do there, killing all 15 for only losing 4 in return. So thanks very much to you for sending that clip in.
Time to roll out.
And this next clip was sent in by the user, bear with me while I probably butcher the pronunciation of their name, Avariel. That is Avariel driving the KV-1S on an encounter battle on the Sand River. KV-1S here being the tier 6 Russian heavy tank and being the top tank.
It could break any minute.
Interesting. Getting shot in the R-Spire Herzer there, not particularly sure what was going on. I guess we will never know unless the user wants to comment if they can shed any light on it. So anyway, back to this battle. You know what the KV-1S is capable of when it has its top-tiered gun. And being the top tank in the battle, you're pretty much correct. That carnage is about to ensue. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this one. So just moving up to support the Panzer III here, spots out the enemy's Panzer IV. Unfortunately, the gun's got a really long aiming time. And unluckily, getting a 0 damage critical on the tracks there. Pretty sure that the Panzer IV is going to be able to repair his tracks before this gun reloads, as that's a fairly hefty reload time. Luckily, the Panzer IV has a bit of a pathetic gun and not able to do any damage. Ooh, thought he was going to keep driving, so try to go for a bit of a prediction shot there, and unfortunately missing. I always hate it when that happens, when you're predicting in front of the enemy and then they decide to stop just as you're about to fire. Just taking a little bit of cover from this Herzer here, as he could probably do a little bit of damage to the KV-1S. T-34 having a shot there, but unfortunately not being able to do anything. It's the Russian medium T-34 as well, obviously not the American premium T-34, because that would be a little unfair having a Tier 8 in a Tier 6 battle. So we're going to come back and see if we can get a hit on this Matilda, but it looks like he is falling back. So just basically holding off the enemy by themselves here, because nobody wants to be the first guy to advance on a KV-1S, because that is pretty much going to spell disaster. As you see there, taking off 75% of the hit points of that Panzer IV with a single shot. Luckily, they know that he's not going to have a reload up for quite some time, so the Matilda advancing in there and landing a hit, unfortunately doing no damage whatsoever. Angling the tank there and probably trying to fall back behind these rocks. Matilda still pushing forward, so he's probably going to get punished for that. Spots out the T-34, who is spotting on the ridge there. Unfortunately, he's left himself out far too long and gets taken out by the 1S. So it looks like the enemy's going for a pretty big base capture at the moment, although they only have 1 light tank in the area. For some reason, it looks like there's a lot of their tanks camping around F and G9. No idea where they're why they're camping there, because their base isn't located there. So it's not even like they are defending the base; they are literally just camping. So able to take out that Matilda, who pushed up far too far by himself, not having the support of his allies. If you find yourself pushing alone, it's probably a good idea to either fall back or make sure that you are in a very safe position. Here's that damned Panzer IV that he wasn't able to take out earlier, having a shot at the other guy, and then getting taken out. So base still getting captured now. Luckily, the only thing is, in an encounter battle, the base capture time, it does tick up considerably slower than it does for a standard battle, so having plenty of time to respond to that one. Now a heavy tank has joined the light tank that they did previously have over there, so it looks like they should be able to get this one sewn up, as the enemy only has light tanks and a tank destroyer. Unfortunately, getting his track taken out by this VK, so I'm not going to be able to advance on him further, although he's repaired it and decided to retreat. Probably not the option that I would have taken, considering that this VK has had 2 shots at him now and caused 0 damage on both of them. Probably just trying to get himself hulled down so that only his turret is visible. Not sure why he's falling back this way to try and get a hit on the VK's turret. Unfortunately, the VK is wise to the game and decides that he's having none of that and retreats behind the sand dune himself. So it looks like their heavy tank, who was stopping the base capture, has now been taken out, so just left to that 1 light tank who was there originally to try and sort out this mess. Although it looks like they have a tank destroyer moving in now, and that is curtains for the VK. Spots an Su-85, who is taking up a position overlooking the base there, and he's got to make a decision whether he wants to go and take out that Su-85 or whether he wants to try and make a run towards the base, because the way that the Su-85's situated, he's going to be right in the middle. Oh, he's spotted him and he's turned around. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have the penetration to do anything and gets taken out. So the game's pretty even at the moment, 12-11, although the enemy is now capping and they have no eyes on anybody. So that medium tank's probably going to have to make a beeline to the capture point and try and get eyes on somebody. Somebody gets spotted out there, sees the Hertzer, so should be able to get a shot on him, although he's taking some pretty good cover behind a fallen tank there. But it looks like cover means nothing to the KV-1S as he is able to land a shot straight through there. So now the medium tank has moved in and spotted out the rest of the guys. There's an SU there, and what was that? That was an A13. So he's going to make his way around here. He's going to speed this up until he gets around. So it looks like the medium tank that went in to try and sort out this base capture has now been taken out. And it looks like they just have a heavy tank and this KV-1S that has any eyes on the situation. Should be able to take out this Su-100. Ooh, unfortunate there, only damaging the tracks of that tank, although damaging the tracks is good enough to stop and reset the base capture timer. So it looks like their heavy tank's now been taken out, so these guys are going to turn their attention to the 1S. Unfortunately, the 1S will not be stopped. Able to take out the Su-100 there. And now it's just an A13 with 7 hit points, so pretty much anybody should be able to take him out. Not sure what the SAU-40's been doing all game, but he looks like he hasn't achieved anything. So it looks like Avariel has managed to get through the game without taking a single bit of damage to some tracks, and it looks like the VK-3000 or whatever it was, heavy medium tank was having a bit of an issue with him there, not liking the fact that he got taken out. Ooh, managed to miss his shot there. Well, not miss his shot, managed to take out the track. Should be able to ram him to death. Nope, only doing 1 point of damage. But it looks like this A13 is not going to be able to take him out. So this is pretty much curtains and GG. Although he's doing a good job of dodging around, but then gets taken out. So fantastic replay there from Avariel driving the KV-1S, picking himself up 8 kills. Although playing very cautious, but that's probably why he picked up 8 kills. And there you go, you see Hellhound still raging in the chat there. So thanks very much to you for sending that clip into us.
Move out.
This next video is from the user Rushing Jaws. That is Rushing Jaws, and he's driving the M10 Wolverine on the standard Battle on the Steppes. Now normally I don't show tank destroyer replays, and that's not because I have anything against tank destroyers, but generally because normal fixed gun tank destroyers will normally camp at the back of a battle or set up an ambush, and it is generally just a lot of waiting around and not much action, and then just a little flurry of action in the middle or the end. And that doesn't, in my opinion, that doesn't really make fantastic viewing material, although it may be technically a good showing and a good... Oh, fantastic shot there. Landing on the Panzer IV there. Very quick reactions to be able to land that shot before he got into cover. Sorry, broke my train of thought there. So yes, normally they just descend into Kampfest, and in my opinion, although it may be technically a good battle and get a lot of kills and damage, it's generally not very entertaining, which is why I don't often show tank destroyer battles. The American tank destroyers are usually the exception, with having a turret that can be used a little bit more like tanks rather than just tank destroyers, although they should also be used in ambush situations, more of sort of in a flanking role and a defensive role, but not to the same extent that the fixed gun tank destroyers get used. So back to this actual game at hand. As I was saying, tank destroyers obviously taking up a defensive position and covering the base and laying down fire on anybody who managed to get spotted. Getting a good hit on that Churchill 1 there, but unfortunately he gets taken out before he can follow up. KV-1 spotted there, not able to land a shot on him before he disappears. So just going to play, well, I was going to say just going to play it safe and hang back there, but deciding to advance and move up, hopefully to be able to get a better vantage point on the enemy's positions. Unfortunately managing to bounce on the front of the KV there, KV being a very tough tank to penetrate from the front from any tank of its own tier. Just going to advance straight up the centre of the map here, not really caring about the enemy. As you can see, they're mostly concentrated on the far right hand flank and in the back on the left hand flank, so there's not really many people to shoot at you as you advance up the centre. That M5 looks like he is hidden behind cover, but there is... oh no, there he comes, moving up the central road. Unfortunately, getting a 0 damage critical, probably either killed the commander or the gunner or damaged the turret ring with that one. So just gonna wait until he comes around the corner. Although it looks like he's not coming around the corner, he's going to play footsie with this other M5 in the centre, although the M5 is taken out by the KV2. A little bit of overkill, the KV2's gun there, absolutely obliterating him. So not able to land anything on that M5. Another good prediction shot there, pretty quick. So able to land a couple of good shots on this KV2 and take his tracks out, so that should make him a sitting duck for their defenders and campers. Actually looks like the KV2 doesn't have the derp gun, so he's going to find it very difficult to compete. Just wait until he aims at someone else and then pokes his head out and finishes him off. So some very good technical play going on at the moment, noticing that their left hand flank is getting overwhelmed slightly while they are pushing right up to the enemy's territory on the right hand flank. So just going to fall back and move across to the left hand side of the map and try and lend some support, as they have been wiped out there now. There was some defenders, but now there's just this Matilda trying to hold their attention, and our man here, Rushing Jaws, just going to try and get himself into a good firing position. Looks like this Churchill is wanting to advance, so just going to keep himself hull down and poke himself over the top and try and take him out. Unfortunately the Churchill doesn't have a very good damage or penetration for his gun, so if he can keep it just so his turret is poking out, shouldn't take too much damage. Getting hit from behind there, so he's obviously been spotted out by somebody, and their defenders are able to land a shot, extreme long range shot, probably that, possibly I would say that ELC, but it looks like that ELC is moving, so it may not have been him. Not able to land an extreme shot. Oh, managed to land his second extreme long range shot though, so fantastic shot there. Is there anybody left on this right hand flank? I am not sure. Spots a KV1, but as I said earlier, KV1 very difficult to penetrate and do any damage to when he's angled and from the front there. As you can see, 3 shots doing 0 damage in a row, 4 shots doing 0 damage. Finally, with the 5th shot, managed to get some damage on the KV1, so just going to try and keep it in that sweet spot, which looks like it's damaging his track and also doing damage to him. So hopefully you can just keep him hanging out in the open here, damaging the track and doing some damage to him. Unfortunately, someone else managed to pick up the kill there, the M4 coming around and killing him. So they've started the base capture now, and the enemy only has 2 tanks left, which is a, what's that, a T14? And is that another KV1? It is a KV1 and a T14. But it looks like they're getting encircled in the top area of the map, and this KV1 is all alone trying to push it on the base. At least he's not just hiding to avoid repair costs, at least he is making an attempt to get as much damage down on the enemy as possible before he gets taken out. Even from the side, this tank is a bit of a beast of damage, but able to take him out. So excellent play by Rushing Jaws there, showing how a tank destroyer can be used to plug up holes in your defense and also cripple the enemy. So fantastic replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in.
Time to roll out.
This next replay was sent in by the user Spoink1337, or to say it another way, Spoinkleet. And he is driving the KV1 on an encounter battle on our old friend Ensk, the smallest map in World of Tanks. So KV1 being almost at the top of the table, there are 2 tier 6 tanks on each side, but even as the not quite top dog, the KV1 is a bit of a beast. So we're going to look forward to some close quarter city fighting from this guy, even though it looks like a lot of the forces have been concentrated down that right-hand flank. So it looks like it's going to be up to the KV-1 to hold things off. For some reason, on these encounter battles, a lot of the people decide to rush down that right-hand flank directly towards each other, rather than covering the objective here as our friend is doing. Although that does leave more people in the centre for him to kill. But again, it looks like the enemy has concentrated a lot of forces on that right-hand flank. Giving up 2 kills at the moment, actually, so they're actually down 2-0. Nobody really showing themselves, so just going to move in for a base capping position, although spots out an Su-85 coming up the centre there. Not sure if he's been spotted himself. Has a shot at the KV-1S, but needs to be careful, because if that KV-1S has the top-tiered gun, he's going to be in some serious trouble. Able to take out his tracks there, so should be able to get some free hits on him. Although that either spun him, getting his tracks taken out, or he has repaired and repositioned himself. So not really going to be able to take on a 1S one-on-one from the front, so just going to be falling back now and trying to either flank around or reposition himself. Although it looks like the KV-1S has had the same idea, not really wanting to tangle one-on-one from the front, so has decided to loop around and try and come at them from the rear. There's a good penetrating hit from the 1S if he has the fully upgraded gun, should be able to take out the KV-1 pretty quickly. So spots out this A20 for some reason, who was sitting still in the centre of the map. In my opinion, A20 should be always in motion. It has such a great top speed and agility that you should never really stop with the thing. So this KV-1S has made his way around now, and he has a Herzer in as an ally there, although it looks like, I don't think the Herzer has spotted the 1S, but the 1S has certainly spotted the Herzer and was able to take him out. That was a fantastic place to get him tracked, as he should be able to pick him off at his leisure now without any answer back. So there we go, able to take him out and position himself so that KV-1, well, I was going to say try to position himself so the KV-1 couldn't do any damage, although it looks like the other KV-1 has the derp cannon, or the slight derp cannon. So again, he's just taking people's tracks out left, right and centre and getting them in a position where he can fire on them and can't have fire returned on him. So able to take out the enemy's KV-1 and then needs to hide himself, as there is a light tank lurking behind him. Although if that light tank is worth his salt, he should realise that the KV-1 will have turned himself around now and will be positioned to come and take you out. So it is time to run away, and it looks like that is exactly what he's done. Not able to see him anywhere. So getting beat pretty well. I was going to say getting beat pretty badly at the moment, but they're not really. It's 12-10, although this late in the game 12-10 is a pretty big margin, considering there you can see that T-49 only has 1 hit point, so he's pretty much useless. Stug 3, not sure what he's trying to achieve by moving his gun so that he can't hit him. That's never a good tactic. It's never a good idea to move your gun so that you can't hit a tank. That is a surefire way to get destroyed. So just going to try and come up on this A20 from behind. Not sure why the A20 decided to stop there. Perhaps his way was blocked by that corpse there. Not particularly sure, but whatever it was, stopping proved to be the end of him. So although the enemy concentrate quite a lot of forces on that right-hand flank, it looks like they haven't actually been able to win that right-hand flank yet. And our man Spoink here is just going to go for the base capture. So just going to speed this one up until some action kicks off again. So it looks like they have a VK who was going straight down the centre. So they've decided not to go for the base capture here and just go for the wipeout. So should be able to take out, yeah, that tank destroyer, no problem whatsoever. And that just leaves the Su-5. So it's just going to be a case of seeking him out, and I think that tank destroyer is moving up to go for a base capture just in case the KV-1 gets himself killed going on this foolhardy mission to take out the Su-5. Although it's not particularly foolhardy, as he has completed his mission. Well, I was about to say complete this mission, but then he managed to miss. And there you go, second shot, managed to take out the SU-5, who unfortunately had no ammunition left. So, brilliant game there from Spoink1337. Thanks very much for sending that replay in.
Let's go.
And this next replay was sent in by the user Banana1728. That's Banana1728, and he's driving the M10 Jackson, formerly known... No, sorry, the M36 Jackson, formerly known as the M36 Slugger. Renamed because its actual name was the Jackson in World War II, or around that era, I'm fairly certain. And he is playing on an encounter battle on Muravanka, so it looks like everybody has decided that it is party time in the forest, and drifting off to the right hand flank, although a couple of people there you can see in the J's have decided that pushing everybody into the forest is a bad idea, and has broke off to the left hand flank, possibly to cover the cap zone in case the enemy has the strange idea that they want to win via base capture. So just taking up a position in the bushes around here, trying to spot out somebody in the forest, because like I said, there is a big forest party going on, and it looks like that's where everybody is headed, although they have quite a few tanks pushing up through the centre and sitting around in the village. So not actually able to have eyes on any of the enemy at the moment. Nobody is able to see anybody, which is a bit frustrating. So somebody gets spotted out. Gonna make a move now and try and get a hit on this Comet. Gets a good hit on the front of the Comet and then drops back while his gun reloads. The second shot probably won't... Oh, someone else is taking him out. Haha! Tiger Tank takes out the Comet. Although I'll probably get in trouble for calling it a Tiger Tank, because apparently that makes it sound too cute and cuddly, so perhaps I should just call it the Tiger and have done with it. So man is deciding to push forward into the forest now, as being camped all the way in the distance there, wasn't able to get eyes on anybody, and even when he could, finding it difficult to land a shot. It's a good hit on the rear of the Jagdpanther there, taking off a good amount of his hit points, still presenting his full side armor, probably because he doesn't want to get, or probably wants to get a kill on this KV-3. But luckily, while he's trying to get this kill on this KV-3, these guys are pounding the shit out of him and able to take him out no problem whatsoever. So able to kill that M4 as well, so that's 2 kills so far, and then going to push further into the forest, perhaps hunt out the artillery, although that's probably what the KV-3 is going to do, as he's already in the area. So what they're going to have to do is move across to the left hand side and try and stop the enemy who look like they're wanting to go for it. Ooh, that was a good hit. That was a very good hit. It looked like he was having a little bit of lag there, and the T-52 was pretty much at full speed and still able to land a hit and take him out. So good shot there from Banana1728. Can't get a bead on this T-50, so going to try and destroy the house that he's hiding behind. If you can't hit your enemy because he's in cover, then blow up his cover. Winning quite convincingly at the moment, 9-6. It looks like they are now just going to slowly close the net around the enemy, who are pretty much hemmed in around the base capture area. Spots 3001P. Not sure if he's going to be able to get a shot on him. Yes, of course he is. But unluckily not able to do any damage, and his cover is now getting blown to pieces. Just going to pop himself out, get another hit, and then hide again, because he's going to take another shot to take out his cover, but the KV-3 comes in and mops him up. So it looks like now the enemy has decided to abandon the idea of a base capture, as they can see the net is slowly closing from the north, and deciding just to move down and try and take out the rest of the enemy forces. Able to get a good hit on that Panzer V M10. Just waiting there. I think his first intention was to wait until someone else landed a shot so that he could pick up the kill. A little bit of a sly tactic there, but able to pay off in the end, and then picking a shot and able to finish him off. Panzer IV there getting taken down to 14 hit points, and the T-43 is able to take him out. So there's only 2 of the enemy left, to a whopping 6 of the Allies, and they are camped pretty much on the as far left-hand flank as you can get for the medium tank, and the heavy tank has just taken out the defenders in the southern area. So should be no problem whatsoever to take out this Panzer IV-S. Is that an S? Yes it is, Panzer IV-S. Not 100% sure what that tank is. And now it's just left to a KV-3. And now normally I would say it's curtains for him, but the KV-3 is notoriously difficult to destroy. If they didn't have their own KV-3, where is he? Oh, he's actually been taken out. So KV-3 notoriously difficult to destroy. Unfortunately, he's had his tracks taken out, so he's just going to get pounded on now. And there's nothing they can do. Coming in for the Ram to pick up the final kill there. So fantastic replay there from Banana1728. Thank you very much for sending that one in.
Time to roll out.
This next replay was sent in by the user Cave Johnson. That's Cave Johnson. He's driving the T25, which I'm fairly certain is a premium German heavy tank. So yes, back to Wide Park. We are going to be watching the heavy tank plane now. It's fairly manoeuvrable for a heavy tank. Got a pretty good top speed. I've only come up against this tank a few times. It's not one you see very often. So this should be fairly interesting to see what it is capable of. So right off the bat, it's just moving down the far left-hand flank. Actually, got up to a top speed of over 50 kilometers an hour there, verging on the high 50s actually. So spots out the 38 NA there.
They're hit.
Unfortunately, his first shot doing 0 damage, obviously a critical.
We nailed it back.
Second shot doing 100 damage. So it looks like it's got a half decent gun with a good reload speed.
Enemy armor
Should be able to take out this 38 NA. Looks like he's actually coming in to try and ram him.
enemy vehicle destroyed.
Unfortunately crashes into the terrain and then gets taken out for trying to ram a heavy tank to death in a light tank. Not sure what he was trying to achieve there. So just going to relocate now and try and come at the enemy from a different angle, because you don't really want to get yourself exposed in those trees over there. Spot out a Valentine there. Is he able to get a hit on him from under the train tracks? No, as it looks like the... Oh, yes. There he can. Unfortunately missing his first shot. Can he land his second? It looks like you can only see a tiny, tiny bit of the Valentine there, unfortunately. So this one, yep, there we go. Finally managed to land some damage on him. Valentine probably a little bit too confused as to where the damage is coming from.
Gotcha.
And then decides to move towards the source of the incoming fire, instead of away from it and getting taken out. So just going to hang around this area here and try and lure the 1S and the Panzer IV out of hiding, but it looks like his allies have decided to flank around. The 38 NA is in the very far north area, and this M6 is pushing in from the front of the 1S, and that allows the T25 here to get in behind it and get some good damage down on the rear of it. Decided to fall back there, but his tracks get taken out, and this should be curtains. M6 comes in to try and ram him to get the kill while his gun's reloading. Unfortunately, Cave Johnson is able to take him out before that happens and picks up the kill for himself. So that looks like the right... Oh, I was going to say that looks like the right-hand flank all sewn up, but there is this Panzer IV who had taken out the 38 NA. Panzer IV is focusing on the Leopard, trying to take him out because he thinks it's going to be an easy kill. Unfortunately, focusing on the Leopard, managed to get himself killed as Cave Johnson actually doesn't take him out. The fleeing Leopard was able to pick up the kill, so good work on the part of that light tank driver there, keeping a cool head under fire and then able to pick up a kill. But anyway, back to the guy whose replay this is. So now the far right hand flank is all sewn up, and it looks like they are pushing through the centre as well. Spots a Covenanter, obviously trying to defend the base. I think his track got taken out there, so there's no chance he's going to be able to retreat, and then gets destroyed. Su-85B, ooh, just able to get into cover and just avoiding that shot there. So yeah, it looks like they're advancing from the centre of the map and advancing from the rear of the enemy, so there shouldn't really be much they can do. Spots this M36 Jackson. Gets his commander killed there. Unfortunately not got a health pack or a med kit available to bring him back to life. Su-26 getting taken out there by the M6. So this game looks pretty much all sewn up now at 12-9, and well, I was going to say they had the enemy surrounded, but it looks like the guys on the slight left-hand side have managed to break out of that. It's KV-1 and the Matilda. Unfortunately, Matilda has 1 hit point, so there isn't really going to be much that he can achieve. Able to get some good damage on this KV-1, who has stopped right in the open to try and kill somebody. Ooh, not quite getting taken out there, and it looks like he's focusing. Well, he was focusing on the T-25, but he's able to kill him before he gets off a shot. So there's just this Matilda Mark IV with 1 hit point. I think if anybody just breathes on this guy, he's going to go down. And there you go. That's 7 kills for Cave Johnson. Absolutely brilliant clip. Thank you very much for sending that one in. So thank you very much for watching this Boxing Day Bash, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. I always love getting replays from you guys and having a look at them. And also, it helps because we can all learn something from the various replays. So please, please keep those replays coming in 2013. And again, I hope you enjoyed it. One thing I will mention is I hope you guys will stay tuned to the early part of 2013. Hopefully within the first week of January, I'm wanting to get another video like this made up, but there will be some stipulations attached to it. Basically, I'm going to be wanting to give away a boatload of gold, so if you guys are wanting to win yourself some World of Tanks gold, then stay tuned to this video coming in early January. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.